We clearly believe that VNCT is a one-stop solution for any and every NRI who is looking towards properties. Now, what's the value system, or what are the strengths that VNCT brings to the table? You people are all here, but this is something that's how we work, and therefore I'm going to put all of that in front of you so that you take that in your hearts and minds and it stabilizes. We have got 5 core principles. Out of the 5 core principles which I'm going to be talking to you now comes the 6th, which is why you all are all here. And I will explain that 6th when I finish talking about the first 5 principles. The first principle is very strong legacy. Principle number 1 is a very strong legacy. Principle number 2, value-based business culture. There is a systematic, value-based way in which we operate and function. Uncompromised financial discipline. Totally uncompromised. Finance, whoever it is, 2 plus 2 can be only 4. Just because the chairman or managing director said it, it doesn't become 4.1. It's 4. And that's the discipline that we need to follow. And to take it a bit forward, if I can tell you with pride, VNCT Global is a zero debt organization. That's how we run all our verticals, and VNCT Global follows the same route. So that's why I said robust financial discipline. Point number 4, century-old experience, which therefore enables us to have a lot of domain expertise in the areas that each one of our professionals are operating. And point number 5, with all of this, we're very keen to embrace change. We look forward to change. We want change. We accept change. We expect change. While doing that, we do it with a lot of adherence to rules, laws, regulations. This is how we work. Now, all of these 5 principles put together will land us into one important subject. And as I said, that's why you are all here. That's because of why you are here. And that's called trust. Proof of the pudding is always in eating it. And proof of the pudding is more than a century of existence, predominantly in all the fields that we are operating. We operate with our own principles, value systems, and we are leading them. And that's how we are stable, we are strong, we have a good legacy, we look forward to a very strong future. If you look at any of the NRIs who work with us, VNCT Spectrum starts with NRIs in mind. And it starts from, for example, totally from the east, as in Malaysia, Singapore. And then we move over to the entire part of Gulf. We move over to London and other parts of Europe, and then totally to the west, where we operate with a lot of investors from Canada and US. Why are we so focused on NRIs? We felt we need to be that answer to any and every prayer of an NRI. கண்டிப்பா நம்ம எல்லாரும் ஒரு நம்மளே பேசியிருப்போம் அல்லது நம்மளுடைய சொந்தக்காரங்க நண்பர்கள் பேசி கேட்டிருப்போம். என்னன்னா, we put money banking on a particular friend and we don't know what happened to the money. We probably put money on a particular investment because of a relative said do this, do that, and we feel it's a bad investment that we have done. Even there are people who say, we have got money here, we made a lot of money, we should have put it back in India, but we used it for some kind of an investment here in the country that we operate, here as in not just here, in any of the NRIs, any of the countries that they operate, and the result is they have probably lost it or they feel that they've missed the bus. We felt that we are going to be that answer. If we need to be that answer, then I need to come here and tell you how we are the answer. And what happens while you people are peacefully here, what happens behind you in the place where you've made the investment. Let me start with the simple aspect of making a choice on a particular development location of VNCT. How do we do that? We don't go and plonk ourselves in a market which is fully grown up or fully blown. We go to a market which is called as emerging market, which is right at the cusp of growth. It's right out there which is going to appreciate, where land is presently there, but probably in the next year or two, it's going to go away. Somebody's going to pick it up. It's not going to be there. And that's the place we pick and we choose. Because the idea is here, we firmly believe we are wealth creators for all of our clients. And as a wealth creator, the primary job of me and my team is to ensure that wealth is created. How is wealth going to be created? By making your decision right on choosing the location. Like for example, in property development, people talk of three important things and they call location, location, location. That's how much we have focused on what we do as our first step. Moving over to the next step is the legalities. Friends, there are three layers of legalities that we follow in picking up a property. First, we have our in-house legal team that looks into the nook and corner of every bit, not just what's presented, what's seen, but what's beyond what's not seen. Because reality is not in just what you see, it's also in what you don't see. And we take that effort, we go the distance. You call it suspicion, you call it ensuring, you call it whatever. We want to make sure that we do it diligently. That's the first layer. The second layer is we take on a senior expert who's an external consultant who looks into the legal affairs. Without sharing the first layer of legal affairs, the second layer is parallelly ensured. Then comes the third layer, which is from the bank. And banks have a panel, not just one. They have a panel. And the papers run through the panel. And their views are taken. We then collate all the views. It's after a sign-off from all of these views that we even step into the project. Look at the kind of strength that y'all are getting because of all of these activities that are going on behind you. Now, what I'm saying is, when I say we are a family, it's just not a term. It's an emotion, it's a feel, it's for a fact. இதுதான் உண்மை. அப்ப அந்த உண்மை அப்படின்னு சொல்றது வெறும் குடும்பம் குடும்பம் குடும்பம்னு சொல்றது மட்டும் இல்லை. அதை எப்படி நம்ம நடத்திக்கிட்டு போகிறோம், அந்த நடத்திக்கிட்டு போகிறதன் மூலமாக உங்களுக்கு கிடைக்கிற அந்த பலம் என்ன? எங்களுடைய பலம் உங்களுடைய பலம், and உங்களுடைய பலம் எங்களுடைய பலம். Therefore, we are a family. And that's the second thing, which is the legal framework. And if you look at the third step, we have our own in-house. Now, all of these are in-house that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about just external. I'm talking in-house coupled with external. And then we have the plan approval. These are steps that you need to understand on what it takes to create wealth. Plan approval is entirely in-house. Then comes the fourth, which is important, very important. The design is focused towards an NRI's liking. உங்களுடைய டேக் என்ன, உங்களுடைய விருப்பங்கள் என்ன, உங்களுடைய பிடிப்பு என்ன, பிடிக்காதது என்ன, இதை உணர்ந்து we then translate it to yes, this is how it needs to be, so that we get the size and price in order. And that's the way our in-house design team works. Architects are fully in-house. And these in-house design team, which are filled with architects, have two important roles to play, and that role is to connect with the external architect sitting out there in Mumbai or Bangalore or Chennai, and also to connect with the client, so that there is a perfect understanding and there is a clear bridge on what we offer. In-house teams. As we move to the next, we have our in-house construction team. Friends, you are all here with a lot of obvious financial knowledge. Let me tell you a fact which you might be surprised to understand. There is a big difference when there is a company that has its own in-house construction division and a company that has an outsourced construction division. Let's take a number for example. Let's take 1,000 rupees is being put in. Just take a number. 1,000 as not 1,000, 1,000 as a number. If 1,000 is put in to a particular space, and if that 1,000 is done by a company which has its own in-house construction division, then 1,000 rupees goes into the construction. Whereas, if there is a company that has an outsourced construction agency and it pays that outsourced construction agency 1,000 rupees, it is 700 rupees that goes into the construction, 300 rupees goes into the operative cost and the margin of the contracting company. It's not going into the land. You can do your numbers. If this is what it is, then obviously either that product is going to be more expensive for you where it's outsourced, or you're not going to get the quality because to maintain the price, somebody is going to cut the corner, which you probably might not know today. And as I always say to my team, quality is something where the presence of which is never noticed, but the absence of which will be immediately noticed. Let's say you open a tap, there is water coming. You don't clap by saying that there is water coming. Adhe nerathila you open the tap, water doesn't come. You realize that? Why is that? Presence of which is never understood, the absence of which is immediately felt. That's reality. We understand that. And that's why we say we are constantly working towards improving our in-house construction team. Ramba solabamana vishayam outsource pantu poyirradhu. It looks like a global phenomenon. People talk about it. I do agree that as a concept it might work, but then as a concept in construction industry, work aguma. It's up there, it's out there for you to guess. You can talk on both the ways, but our belief system at VNCT Global is it won't work. It won't work to the advantage of the client. So we have our own in-house construction division. And to go further, the sites are being managed. Every site, Chennai, Madurai, Coimbatore, whatever area, whichever location, whichever site, the sites are managed by our line of admin officers, and those admin officers, friends, are retired policemen, ex-policemen. And the head of all of this is one Mr. Amalraj, who's currently the head for VNCT in all of this, and he's a retired superintendent of police who is heading vigilance and anti-corruption. That's the way we line it up, because there needs to be somebody who's understanding the ground reality, who says, let's sort out matters. Because things are out there in the open. And then we want to make sure that when we deliver it as a good gift, as a clean parcel to our clients. Again, nothing comes free in this world. This comes with a lot of money. Most importantly, it comes with a lot of care. Once again, which is why I want to change that word from client meet to family meet. And that's how we believe in that. It goes further. We have our Happy Care team that looks into end-to-end servicing. And obviously when we say we will look at renting out your space, it's not something that we want to do today and then say, okay, it's over. We want to make sure that you have made the right decision, and therefore we go the extra mile. It might not happen today, but it's going to happen permanently. Do we want a today or do we want a permanency? I would vote for permanency. And therefore we work on those lines. I would love to share all of this and more, like for example, our registration team, and then the team that looks into ensuring your quality, and the team that's working on the back end, which is taxation and finance. Because as I always say, finance is the crux, fulcrum of anything. Cash flow is crucial. How do we get it? We need to make sure that we deliver it. How are we able to say we deliver on time all the time? Because of all of these and more. The list is endless. I just thought I need to express this to each one of you so that you understand. Inneki inge ungala sandikkiradhukkaga enga core team members 3, 4, 5 people outside of the Dubai office vandirukkalam. But behind each of them there are like GMs, AGMs, project managers, supervisors, engineers, staff team. It's a large team, and then you have the workforce. It's like 1,000+ people who are there and who are relentlessly working morning, afternoon, evening and night, including a Monday and a Sunday, for example, today also. Because right now, while we are speaking here, there is work happening at the site. That's dedication. That's passion. It's not my dedication or Mrs. Geetha Nagu's passion alone. It's the dedication and passion of VNCT Global as an organization, as a team. Because all of us believe that clients are kings. And we need to deliver. And that's how we're able to do it. And we felt it'll be our pride to come here and have our 10th year celebrations, because who else is important than you? I hope you understand how strong we are all as a team, as a family.